Peace. It's David from Modern Fitness, and this lesson is on how to take body measurements with a tape measure, which is a great way to track your progress if one of your goals is either 1, change how you look, or 2, change how you fit into your clothes. Remember, it is possible to gain weight while you lose inches on your waist, and this is because of something called density. You might have heard someone say something to the tune of muscle weighs more than fat. A more accurate statement would be muscle is denser than fat. And that's the reason for the phenomenon of people sometimes gaining weight but getting smaller and tighter. But before I digress into a physics lecture, let's get into the assessment, teach you how to do it. So, we're measuring 7 areas today, and those 7 areas are neck, chest, waist, hips, thighs, calves, and arms. Ideally, you do every measurement 3 times in a circuit, meaning you'll go through all the measurements and then repeat the entire process 2 more times. The reason for this is it will help you catch any mistakes you might make. This is a skill. Skills take practice. Record the average of the 3. If any one of the measurements is really off the other 2, take a second, deep breath, and just redo that area where you got the really off measurement. So to do this, you're gonna need tape measure. Regular sewing tape measure works great. Tight and thin clothing, or ideally as little clothing as possible. Remember, being naked for your significant other, not for posting to the internet, which is why I'll be wearing tight and thin clothing, but normally I would do this just in my boxers. And a tracking system. Paper and pencil journal works great. For my online coaching clients, make sure you use your personalized app. The advantage of the personalized app is 1, it's really hard to lose anything once you put it in the cloud, and 2, it's going to help us track your stats and your progress over time to see how you're making progress and adjust your program to make sure you keep on making progress. And finally, a mirror for some of the measurements, most specifically the neck measurement. So, when you do this, you always want to have consistent conditions, which means wearing the exact same clothing or something as close to it as possible, and doing this first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, after using the bathroom. The 3 rules of using the tape measure are 1, consistent placement, 2, taut, 3, level. Alright, so we're going to start with our neck measurement. Placement's going to be on the Adam's apple. Put it behind the neck first to make sure you're not measuring your hair. 16 inches. Chest placement's at the nipple line. Place it around your back first. Make sure it is level. Get it taut. Take a big inhale in. Exhale out. Taut and 42 inches. Next, waist. Waist placement is on the navel, or as I like to call it, the umbilicus. Still behind your back. Make sure it is level. Get it taut. Once again, for this one, we take a big inhale in, exhale out, 34 inches, and then the hips, feet together. You're gonna measure the thickest part of your hips. Remember, taut, level, 42 inches. And that wraps up your core or trunk measurements. Those are convenient because you only have 1 of them. For the remaining measurements, you have 2, because you have 2 legs, 2 arms. Ideally, do both sides. Again, online coaching clients, in your app, you have room to track both. If you really feel the need to only track one side, make sure you're tracking your non-dominant side. The reason for that is so you have your dominant hand to make sure you're getting the most accurate measurements that you can. So, first, thigh. Shift your weight to the other leg so the leg can be relaxed and measure around the thickest part. Remember, taut and level. 26 inches. Calf. Keep that leg relaxed. Once again, we're going to the thickest part. 15.5 inches. And last but not least, the arm straight. Remember, level now means vertical, not horizontal. Keep the arm relaxed. "14 inches. And that is a wrap, pun intended. Once again, you should do all the measurements 3 times, and the best way to do that is to go through them all, and then repeat again. Take the average, make sure there's no crazy outliers in your measurement, which will happen when you miss one of the 3 rules, which are consistent placement, taut, and level. As you do this more often, you'll become better at it and more comfortable with it. Remember, you are learning a skill. Skills take practice. So, you should be doing this every 2 to 4 weeks based on your plan, if one of your goals is either to change how you look or to change how you fit into your clothes. Have a good day. Peace.